Our next lesson in algebra is called multi-step equations. Our goal is to solve multi-step equations using the multiplication and addition properties of equality. Alright, let's look at this. The equations in this lesson require both the multiplication and addition property of equality to solve them. Remember, the addition property that we talked about said that, you should already have this in your notes. It says that if A equals B, then A plus C equals B plus C. And our multiplication property said that if A equals B, then A times C equals B times C. Okay? As long as you do the same thing to both sides of the equation, it's going to equal. Alright? Okay. Just remember, it's like a scale. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Okay, let's look at some examples. I want you to write this example in your notes. So go ahead and put today's date. Let's go ahead and put multi-step problems. Multi-step equations. Alright. Let's do 13x minus 9 equals 73. Alright. Whenever I have an equal sign, it's an equation. Whenever I'm moving things from one side to the other, I always have to add and subtract first. This is subtracted, so this is what I have to get rid of first. So the opposite of minus is plus. Plus, to get rid of it, I have to add it. But if I add it over here, I also have to add it over there. And I know that we've done this many times before, but I'm just reviewing. These cancel out. We're left with 13x equals 3 plus 9 is 12, 7 plus 1 is 8. And then I divide, 13 times x. The opposite of times is divide, so to get rid of the 13 I have to divide it. But if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other. So x equals, but I divide that, 82 divided by 13. I'm going to get 6. My remainder is 4. Keep my denominator the same. Okay? Alright. Then to check I have to go back to my original problem. My original problem was 13x minus 9 equals 73. And I write it down exactly like it is, but instead of x, I put my answer. So 13, now there's x. So instead of x, I'm going to put 6 and 4 over 13. Besides that, it's exactly the same. Minus 9 equals 73. Okay? And then I would go through and solve that. Alright. Let's do another example. I want this in your notes too. We have 7x over 5 plus 10 equals 38. Okay? Now remember, I have to add and subtract first. This is already added, so the opposite of that is subtract. So I have to subtract it and get rid of it first. Okay? That means those are going to cancel out. So I'm left with this. 7x over 5 equals 8 minus 0 is 8, 3 minus 1 is 2. This isn't a 5, by the way, that's an x. Okay, do you remember what to do next? Well, my x is on the top. You see this fraction, 7 over 5? Do you remember how to get rid of a fraction? How you get rid of a fraction is you flip it. So instead of 7 over 5, I'm going to put 5 over 7. But if I multiply this side by 5 over 7, I have to multiply that side by 5 over 7. Okay? My 7's cancel out, my 5's cancel out, so I'm left with x equals, okay, now remember fractions, so I'm going to put imaginary 1 under there. Can I cancel anything? Well, I can't cancel the 1 and the 5 because I can't get smaller than 1. But I have 28 and 7. I can divide those both by 7. 28 divided by 7 is 4, so I'm going to cross that out and change it to a 4. 7 divided by 7 is 1. Now I multiply straight across. 4 times 5 is 20. 1 times 1 is 1. Since 1's on the bottom, I don't have to put it. Now let's check it. I have to write the same problem down that I had, 7x over 5 plus 10 equals 38. I'm going to substitute the 20 where the x is. 7 times 20 over 5 plus 10 equals 38. Let's see. I have 20 divided by 5. I can divide them both by 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 7 times 4 is 28 plus 10 equals 38. 28 plus 10 is 38 equals 38, and that's true. Okay? Alright. Okay, let's go ahead and click Show Problems. You don't have to put these in your notes unless you want to. Let's go to number 1. I want this on your dry erase board. Number 1. 1 says, solve and check. So I have 6x plus 2 equals 14. Okay, I want you to stop the tape and do number 1. Alright, let's see how we did. Remember, we have to add or subtract first. My variable's here, so it's the 2 I have to get rid of. It's already added, so I'm going to have to subtract minus 2 to both sides. These cancel out, so I have 6x equals 4 minus 2 is 2, 12, okay. This is multiplied. The opposite of multiply is divide, so you should have divided both sides by 6. X equals 12 divided by 6 is 2. Okay, so this should have been your answer. Now let's check it. Let's go back to our original problem. 6x plus 2 equals 14. I'm going to copy it down just like this, only instead of x, I'm going to put 2 in parentheses, because that means times. Plus 2 equals 14. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 equals 14. 14 equals 14. True. So what it wants you to put there is it wants this right here where it says check. This goes in where it says check. How far did we get? I hope we got that one okay. Let's try another one. Number 3. Number 3 says x over 5. So x divided by 5, x fifths plus 1 equals 7. Okay, stop the tape and do number 3. Alright, let's see how we did. Remember, we have to add and subtract first. My variable's here, so it's the 1 I need to get rid of. The opposite of plus is minus, So you should have subtracted 1 from both sides. These cancel out, so I'm left with x divided by 5 equals 7 minus 1 is 6. Now I'm left with a fraction. 5 is on the bottom, so if it's already divided by 5, the opposite is multiply it by 5. So I'm going to have to multiply both sides times 5. My 5's cancel out, so x equals 6 times 5 is 30. So you should have come up with 30. Now let's check it. We have x over 5 plus 1 equals 7. Now I'm going to put 30 where the x is, so a 30 divided by 5 plus 1 equals 7. 30 divided by 5 is 6, plus 1 equals 7. 6 plus 1 is 7 equals 7, and that's true. So this is what you should put where it says check. Alright, let's go to number 5. It's important that you do these, you stop the tape and do it, and then check it with mine to make sure that you did everything right. Okay? Because if you're just watching me do it, in a few minutes I'm going to put you on your own to finish this, and you're not going to know what to do. We have 2x over 3 plus 1 equals 3. Go ahead and stop the tape and do number 5. Remember to check it. Alright, let's see how we did. You should have subtracted first. Here's my variable, so that's what I have to get rid of. It's added. The opposite of plus is minus, so you should minus 1 from both sides. These cancel out, so I have 2x divided by 3 equals 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay. Now, I have a fraction here. 2/3. Did you remember what to do to get rid of a fraction? Okay, you should have flipped it. So instead of 2 over 3, I'm going to put 3 over 2. But if I multiply this times 3 over 2, I have to multiply this side times 3 over 2. My 2's cancel out, my 3's cancel out. So I have x equals, now look over here, my 2's cancel out, so I have x equals 3. So you should have come up with x equals 3. Did you remember to check it? Let's see. 2x divided by 3 plus 1 equals 3. Okay. Now instead of x, we put 3, so 2 times 3 divided by 3 plus 1 equals 3. Right here, my 3's are going to cancel out. So I have 2 plus 1 equals 3. I know you can't see anymore, but 3 equals 3, and that's true. But for your check, you should have written this down. I'll go ahead and rewrite that. Times 3 divided by 3. But this is what you should have got when you checked it. Okay? Alright, let's go to the next one. Look at number 7. Number 7 says 9x plus 1 equals 11. Okay, go ahead and stop the tape and do number 7. Alright, let's look at it. This is added, so we have to subtract it. So it's going to be minus 1 from both sides. My 1's cancel out, so I have 9x equals 11 minus 1 is 10. Okay, now I have to divide. I have to get rid of my 9. They're multiplied, so I'm going to have to divide it. Divide by 9. So x equals 10 over 9. And this says, put your answer in the form of a mixed number. Okay. So x equals 10 divided by 9. 9 goes into 10 once. There's a remainder of 1, and I leave my denominator the same. So you should have come up with x equals 1 and 1/9. Okay, now let's check it. Let's go back to our original problem. We have 9x plus 1 equals 11. 9 times, I'm going to put 10 over 9. 10 over 9 plus 1 equals 11. Okay, if I check it, my 9's cancel out, and I have 10 plus 1 equals 11. 11 equals 11, and that's true. So for the check, this is what it wants you to write down. Okay? And if you put 1 and 1/9 there, that's fine too. Alright, let's look at number 9. Number 9 says, "7x over 2 plus 5 equals 8. I want you to stop the tape and do number 9. Remember to check it. Alright, let's look at it. Here's our variables. We had to get rid of the 5. The opposite of plus is minus, so we should have subtracted 5 from both sides. These cancel out, so I have 7x over 2 equals 8 minus 5 is 3. Alright, now let's check it. Sorry about that. Let's check it. I have 7 over 2. It's a fraction. To get rid of a fraction, we have to flip it. So I'm going to multiply it times 2 over 7. My 2's cancel out. My 7's cancel out. So I have x equals, let's multiply. I can't cancel out anything. So 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 7 is 7. So you should have come up with x equals 6/7. Okay, now it said to check it, so let's go back and check it. We have 7x over 2 plus 5 equals 8. Alright, so we have 7 times 6 over 7 divided by 2 plus 5 equals 8. Okay, now I'm just going to look at my top numbers for a minute. My 7's are going to cancel out. Okay, so now I have 6 divided by 2. Well, 6 divided by 2 is 3. Plus 5 equals 8. 3 plus 5 is 8 equals 8. And that's true. So this is what we should have got for the check. I'll rewrite this for you. This is a 7 and that's a 7. Okay? It doesn't look like a 7, does it? Alright. We're getting a hang of this. We just do one step at a time. Let's do another one. Look at number 11. Number 11 says 16 equals 2x minus 1. Okay, I want you to stop the tape and do number 11. Make sure you check it. Alright, let's see how we did. This is minus 1, so we're going to have to add it. So plus 1 to both sides These cancel out. 16 plus 1 is 17 equals 2x. Alright. Now, these are multiplied, so to get rid of the 2, I'm going to have to divide it. Those cancel out. 17 divided by 2 is 8, and my remainder is 1, so I have 8.5 equals x. On your computer, it wants the x first, so make sure you put x equals 8.5. Okay? Now let's check it. We go back to our original problem. We have 16 equals 2x minus 1. So we should have put x where the x is, which is 8.5 minus 1. Sorry, that doesn't go in parentheses. And if I multiply it, in order to multiply, I'd have to turn it right back into an improper fraction, huh? 2 times 17 over 2, because 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1 is 17, and minus 1. Okay, so 16 equals, here my 2's cancel out, and I have 17 minus 1. 16 equals 16, and that's true. So to check it, this is what I have when I checked it. Okay? Alright. Okay, let's look at number 13. Number 13 says, $15x plus 6 equals 10x plus 21. Okay, I want you to stop the tape and do number 13. Make sure you check it. Alright, let's look at it. Okay. These aren't like terms, so I can't combine them. And these aren't like terms, so I can't combine them. So it looks like I'm going to have to move one of them to the other side. I'm going to look at my x's. 15 is larger than 10, so I'm going to move the smaller one. I'm going to move 10. There's no sign here, so it's plus. So the opposite of plus is minus. So I have to subtract 10x from both sides. These are going to cancel. I don't have anything canceled over here, so I'm going to have to cancel that 6. The opposite of plus is minus, so I have to subtract 6 from both sides. Those are going to cancel. Okay? 15 minus 10 is 5x equals 21 minus 6 is 15. Okay? These are multiplied, so the opposite of multiply is divide, so I have to divide by 5. X equals 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay? Now I have to check it. So here we go. We have 15x plus 6 equals 10x plus 21. So 15, instead of x, I'm going to put 3, plus 6 equals 10. Instead of x, I'm going to put 3 plus 21. Okay, you have to multiply first. 15 times 3, you multiply that, you should have got 45. Plus 6 equals 10 times 3 is 30, plus 21. And you can do these up and down if you need to. 45 plus 6 is 51 equals 51, and that's true. So to check it, this is what it wants for the check. Okay? Alright. Let's look at number 15. Number 15 says 16x minus 5 equals 18x minus 2. Okay, I want you to stop the tape and do number 15. Remember to check it. Alright, let's look at it. Okay, there's no like terms here because we have to combine like terms before we can do anything. There's no like terms here, so we can't do anything. Can't do anything over there. So we're going to have to move some things. I'm going to look at my x's first. 16 is smaller than 18, so I'm going to move the 16. So I'm going to have to subtract 16x from both sides. Okay? Now these are going to cancel out. I don't have anything canceled out over here, so I'm going to have to get rid of that 2. The opposite of minus is plus. So I'm going to have to add 2 to both sides, and those are going to cancel out. Okay? Now let's look. My signs are different. That means I have to subtract. So let's look at the larger number, 5 and 2. The larger number is 5, and it's negative. So my answer is negative. 5 minus 2 is 3 equals. My signs are different here too. My larger number is 18, and it's positive. So my answer is positive. 18 minus 16 is 2. Don't forget your x. Alright. Let's look at it. Now I have to get rid of the 2. It's multiplied, so the opposite of times is divide. So I'm going to have to divide both sides by 2. Okay. It wants a mixed number. So negative 3 divided by 2. 2 goes into 3 once. I have 1 remainder. The denominator is a 2 equals x. But remember, your computer wants x first. So on your computer, it wants x equals negative 1.5. Okay? Now let's check it. I'm going to erase this so I can check it. We have 16x minus 5 equals 18x minus 2. So to check it, I put negative 1.5 where the x is. I'm going to put negative 3 over 2 where the x is. Oh, sorry. Negative 3 over 2 minus 5 equals 18 times negative 3 over 2 minus 2. And then let's multiply first. Okay, a negative times a positive is a negative. Okay. I can cancel my 16 and my 2 because I can divide them both by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 times 3 is 24. Okay, minus 5 equals, oh, positive times negative, it's going to be negative. Put my 1 here. 18 and 2, I can divide those both by 2, so my 18 is going to be a 9. 2 is going to be a 1. 9 times 3 is 27. 1 times 1 is 1, so I don't have to put it. Okay, my signs are the same, so I add. This could be a negative. 24 plus 5 is 29, so negative 29 equals, these are both negatives, so I add. 27 plus 2 is 29. Negative 29 equals negative 29, and that's true. Okay, so this is what it wants for the check. This is a 16. That's a 2. This was an 18. Okay, so that's what it wants for the check. How did we do? Okay, I want you to go back and review this lesson if there's anything you were having problems with, and go ahead and finish the problems.